And a very good evening to you from wherever you're tuned. Thank you so much for joining us in yet another edition of the Evening Farm Drive. Kamakawa, I'm your girl, Jackie Mo. Santeni sana for your continued support and for always tuning in to the Evening Drive show. Today we want to talk about uh, permaculture farming. What is permaculture farming? And the show today is taking you all the way to Eldoret, a place called Keses in Gishu County. We're being joined by permaculture experts. He's trained me a lot on permaculture, and I want us to get to listen to him and learn about permaculture. What exactly is permaculture? How can it be practiced? And is it really a kind of climate smart agriculture? So let's go all the way to Keses, and we are joined by Samson. Samson, thank you so much for making time to take us through into your farm. Thank you so much for making time.
So you are very much welcome, Jackie. This is another evening, and we are very grateful that we love this kind of discussion as far as climate change is concerned, and all this kind of income generating, this kind of cut cost as far as the farming field is concerned. So here where we are is S&J Garden. As we have said earlier, I'm Samson Tanui, a permaculture attendant here, and we start from looking how we can sustain our family. We can also have this kind of having an income. We ensure now a permanent agriculture. And when we talk of permanent agriculture, this one now is I can say it is a designed manner of farming, not like the agriculture, which is a practice. So you just design it the way it's supposed to run. Whatever we just do here, we do this kind of zoning. We are not now talking about the line layouting, but we are talking about the zoning of the unit. So you can first find that we have this kind of zoning from zero zoning where we live all the way to far end of zone 5. So what we'll find here is that it also depends on this kind of the security purpose, the kind of the management aspect which needs to be closer. And also what I'll be taking you around is that I'll be taking you through all these units, whereby we'll start with this unit of the food landscaping, and which is a demo unit for farmers, what we normally do. I'll take you to floriculture, all the way to horticulture and garden, up to this kind of food forest, where now you'll find this kind of climate which we love our wildlife. And generally, we are talking about this agritourism. This is what we'll be doing today.
Nice. I'm very eager to learn and see how you've continued growing and the various kinds of crops that you are doing on your farm. You said you're starting from the food landscaping. Take us through what is on the food landscaping unit.
From now, this kind of food landscaping, this one, where we use just maybe stay for freely, running it kind of food, produce food. Now, you can see this kind of production. This here, you can see the productivity of this all the way. So you can see now we have the cabbages. You can see it. You cannot see it. But now this kind of you can see from far. You can see now, you can see another tomato. So this tomato is just from kitchen. So we the principle of sustainable. So you can imagine like you can see from somewhere extracted from market, and now you can see that we have a very excellent product. We say it as to sustain a family. back to mat. You can see it's very vigorous. In the background again, and of the sword, I think you can see in this background again, and on the background you can see a kind of flowers. So we also have unit of the which now each and every family we are not supposed to be going this kind of medicine. We have some of them, aloe vera.
Oh, okay.
So we have this medicinal unit. What kind of the pharmaceutical properties?
Probably, Samson, could you probably turn so that we can be able to see the crops?
Thank you, thank you. Just a minute.
Yeah, probably as you continue setting, tell us a little bit about how you discovered what permaculture is.
Well, permaculture is it's kind of a working movement of urbanism. And in that case, you can see that like it has to have so a mood of decay. So it's also that something has to die. You have another organism. Yeah. So the best. So it is a matter of waste.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the conversation we want to have. I'll be taking a quick breather, get some pen and a paper, and we'll be back shortly with Samson to tell us more about permaculture farming. We'll be back shortly after this break.
Amaranthus, or locally known as terere, is a highly nutritious vegetable that is cultivated and consumed as a leafy vegetable in many parts of the world. It's easy to grow, matures fast, as it takes an incredible shorter period than most traditional crops. There are many species of amaranthus, with some green and others red in color. When growing amaranthus, ensure the soil is well drained and rich in phosphorus, and most importantly, ensure the seeds are well distributed to achieve an even spread when establishing a green amaranthus field. Amaranthus is especially loved for its tender leaves and for their healthy dose of ions, vitamins, and a range of minerals. A nursery bed is a small area of a yard or garden that's used for growing certain selected plants. The goal of a nursery bed is to grow young plants to a certain size at which they can be easily transplanted. A nursery bed can also be used to evaluate plants to see if they are worthy of planting in the larger garden, to observe their growth, habit, and color, or watch them for pests and diseases. A nursery bed is especially helpful for vegetable gardeners practicing succession in planting, in which a steady supply of fresh produce is maintained.
And welcome back to the evening farm drive with me, Jackie Moka Makei Kamakawa. And I told you we are in Keses Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County, talking matters permaculture. What is permaculture? And we are being joined by Samson Tanui, who was taking us through. Thank you so much, Samson, for still being on with us in the show.
Yeah, welcome again.
Yes, now we can see you. Are asking us, can you see? And we were only seeing your face. Now take us through the food landscaping unit.
So we were still in this kind of food landscaping now. We can see you have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we have for food landscaping. So we have now the cabbages with all these ditchings as far as biomass is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And they are mulching, which you can see from the internet. Mm-hmm. So it is a raised bed. So from here you can see our tomatoes, mm-hmm, which are very good, excellent. And you can imagine this was what I was telling you. It was a kitchen seed extracted from what was consumed.
Really?
And this is now proved. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine it can prove that sustainability comes all the way with what we have as far as sustainable agriculture availability and what we have to concern. So the magic one is this one now. So with this one, it is purely organic, planted and pest control. And you can see from down here, we have this kind of unit here with the Spania, which are now nitrogen fixing. We also have this amaranth, which are now cover crops of them. All round, we have so many things that we are operating here. And again, you can see we have this flower, which is now Tebaregram, which one we used to use as a pest control. So this is the kind of our food landscaping. You can see our medicinal unit. And in the rest of the country, you can see what is happening. When we come close, you can see our bees, which are moving all around with this kind of pollination, which is now an excellent one. We have this one now, which is as castor oil, resinous, which acts as how can I say, it can act as rodent repellent in the farm. I'll be taking you in food forest. So this is what is happening. And again, when we were talking of permaculture, this is what we were trying to talk about. And you can see from this kind of waste, we are going now to use this one so that we'll feed our worms. This one now will serve as our worms feed. So we come here now as we are moving. This was still our floriculture unit. As you can see it, we are yet to establish. But again, you can see all around here, we are using this kind of raised beds to raise our strawberries, which you can see now they are close to 3 weeks, and you can see they are flowering. This is what is happening here all the way. And then moving here now, we are almost close to where we are moving to the next unit, which I believe that the other time you can see this our corridor. We have this clamping. This now a pure organic. This is our waste management, plastic recycle. This now we call the cellular production. As you can see it, we are now utilizing our plastics. The reason why we talk of cellular production is this: we recycle our plastics. The other time we used it for water. Again, we just do this kind of openings, plant our seeds. We repair now with this kind of polythene. We are nurturing our crops. We have now this unit again, which now we call it a barrier. Now it's a unit of green wally. You can see we have our sugar cane. We move all the way now to this unit. You see we are propagating our next gen of our potatoes, which now we believe that we'll be having plenty of seeds. Here we focus on taking care of our seeds and all this kind of thing. So this is another unit that we are moving on. All the way now, let me take you quick to the far end where we produce our seeds again. Our kitchen seed is the chilies. You can see the chilies ready to be transplanted. And I'll be taking you through this now, another unit of production. So this is our unit, our dairy goat unit, where we get our manure. So from a distance, you can see now our goats are consuming. So this is what is happening. They are feeding here. You can see they are busy. You can see taking their supper at the end of the day. So they are just here. We have now this three of them. So when we get there, you'll just get that we have this unit here where now their droppings come in. And this is now where we collect our manure. This is now our solid manure. I'll be taking you through so that you can share with me what we have like a liquid fertilizer as we'll be moving now to Permaculture unit.
Probably before you leave, what's the reason behind putting the goats up? Because most of the farms you visit, the goats are usually left just on the ground.
Okay, for the first, goats are very, 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 I can say they are very decent, smart livestock. And again, they are prone to this kind of weather, which is, I can say, coldness. So it has to be raised. And again, for easy access of manure collection, the droppings somewhere here, so that you can see from these spaces, the droppings are now going, so that collection will be done inside. And again, when these food leftovers can drop here, you can see we'll be collecting them and making them as a mulching for mulching purpose. So you can see now from here. You are asking any other question here?
Yeah, which variety of?
Okay, like now we have the Sunnet, and another one here is the Alpine. And now you can see the growth breeding is the other one. So we have these two varieties for now.
Okay. So how do they climb up there? Are you the one who carries them, or how do they climb?
They definitely know how to do this. In fact, the goats are very brilliant animals. they are very unique on the zone. In fact, they can see how we open the door and they might even open. At times, we just use it like locking and they can lock it. So this is our daily problem now. And see, what we normally do is that we just sit here. You can see them. They're supposed to sit here when we are milking it. And again, when this now that will be feeding here and you get the milk here. So from here now, they just use this just for resting purposes. They just rest here. And again, when they want to use, they just stand here and aerial to the other side of the farm. So you can see they like. And again, most like 90% of days of goats have this kind of they don't graze, they browse. So they most of the time they want to just live somewhere flying. That is their nature. So from here we'll be moving to this unit now, which we are still establishing again. We were trying to revive this one since post COVID, and now we are working on. So you can see we have the unit. Now we talk of permaculture, we are kind of organic. You can see from what we have here, we have this kind of the sandbag. Usually when you see chicken trying to do what this kind of scratching and having this, you see that these are sand, so that whenever they'll be padding on this. And what we normally do now, what we'll be doing is adding these hashes, the food hashes, so that they'll aid in these parasites, the external parasites. It will kill the external parasites wherever they be padding on this. And you can see now we stand a chance of not getting contaminated with this kind of external parasites. So we are now fumigating this room. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks we'll be having the chicks. And on the other hand, when we'll be going for black soldier flies, that is where now I'll show you what we have ready for their meal. So we'll not be carrying any cost, we'll be cutting cost as far as input is concerned. So you can see here, again, we have these patches, which now will come and post on it. So those are the kind of ventilation you can see for this kind of ventilation so that we can control the disease. So we'll be having this unit again, the laying nest. For our unit. The next unit, which is now this kind of liquid.
Yeah, it's like we've lost Samson for a while, but we'll be getting back to him to try to continue with the tour of his farm where he's showing us. Yeah, I think he's back. Yes, probably. Samson, you are taking us to the other unit? Samson, can you hear me? With Samson to continue with the tour, but today we are talking about permaculture, and just from the short tour that we've gotten from Samson, I think most of you are getting to understand exactly what is permaculture. Like you've seen, Samson has grown, I think so far I've counted almost 10 crops on his farm on a very little space, and the organization of how he has done his farm is quite amazing. And as he has explained, he's doing almost all his kinds of farming organically. I don't know, Samson, can you hear me? Samson, can you hear me? Great. We'll continue trying to connect with Samson to continue with the conversation on permaculture farming. get to understand what is the importance of permaculture, the benefits of permaculture farming, and is it a sustainable kind of farming. I think from the tour you can already see that it's one kind of farming that is sustainable. Like Samson has mentioned, he's practicing his farming venture organically. So in some way also that is climate smart and climate friendly kind of farming. And it's a kind of farming that most of the farmers need to emulate, especially smallholder farmers, because you can grow a variety, various varieties of crops on a very minimal space, and you'll also be having a good kind of landscape whereby your farm is organized. Samson, can you hear me? Yes, as we try to connect with Samson, let's have a look at some of the stories that are making heads up on the Samson. I'm being told you're back.
Yes, I'm back.
There's a problem with your sound. Try to. Can you hear me now? Samson, can you hear me? Right. So as I was explaining about permaculture, some of the kinds of crops that can be grown in a permaculture setting is the normal kinds of vegetables, the indigenous ones that we know, like amaranth, the spider plant, that is saga. You've seen Tanui has also grown cabbages, and I know some other part of his farm has grown various kinds of cereals. You've seen he has climbing beans. He also has chilies, and he's the kind of farming that he's doing is quite amazing, because he's trying to integrate the pest control kinds of crops, and he has also mentioned that he has barrier crops like the sugarcane ones that act as windbreakers. Yes, I'm being told Samson is back. Samson, can you hear me? Samson, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm getting you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Probably add some volume.
So from here now, I'll take you to this unit of what we have produced as far as our organic manure is concerned from our dairy unit. And you can see we have now established this kind of liquid fertilizer. So what I'm trying to do now is just aerating and getting like more and more microbites. So what you can see the bubbles here are the microbites. So which now we are aerate so that whenever we have to use this kind of attack, we feel water here. So we soak it, it will just produce this kind of liquid. And what is extracted here is reducing the ammonia. And this is now their products, which now are very good. And by the way, this one is now called liquid tea. So we usually detect this now for foliar heat. And the final product now, which is the cake for what comes in this kind of a manure now, which now we come here, we dry them. This is now our manure, which now we dry them. After drying them, we now we make sure that we ensure that we crush them into pieces, and now we come here and ensure that we have the ashes. We now add the ashes so that it can assist in aeration, and again we have this kind of adding the potassium, and also we add the HF so that we have the calcium inside. So this one now are very good for planting. This is what we have, this is what we plant in our farm. We are used to plant. And when we come to that end again, we move for planting purposes of our organic manure. We now come to this unit where we have the compost we are now done with our part of our composting, which now will bring the biomass from the other end of the farm, those are the leaves, mix them with our manure from the livestock, and you can see now we have this kind of soil. Now this one is the compost soil. So you can see we have compost soil, we have another part which we are yet to establish somewhere there. So we'll be working along this kind of a permaculture unit to ensure that we mimic all animals and livestock. So from here now we have this unit which now you are very much interested on it. A new one established. And from distance now you can see here, I see that we have black soldier unit. Now this one at the actual unit stage. So with all this unit, so which they are adults, they tend to. So what they usually feed, adults don't feed. They are just comfortable with that, what they eat. So they just drink some water. We just put some somewhere, and they are laying devices. So they lay here. So from here now, after laying, we ensure that we take the eggs to the lavarium unit, which now it will come to our final product, which we are now here. This is our lavarium unit. As you can see, it was just a setup, not yet complete, but it is already somewhere close to what we're working. So this is what we are using, the waste management. I'll be showing you. So this is what we use. We are using our chicken droppings, and you can see now, this now are the Easter, they are the Easter 2 larvae. So we are yet to establish, you can see what is happening. They are feeding on this kind of waste products from the chicken. So all this one now are in Insta 2. And hopefully, as I was telling you, we'll be establishing in the next 2 weeks, we'll be having our chicks. So they'll be having a food. And again, we have this kind of the newly patched again of the red recluse swarm. So what we are trying to say is that we ensure that waste management does not supposed to serve them. So this is our red recluse unit. So you can see
Samson, I think we lost your sound for some time. Kindly check the sound. Can you hear me? Yeah, we had lost your sound.
So are you getting me now?
Yeah, yes, now we can hear you. Repeat that part of waste management.
Okay. So let me work on. So we are now on this unit. Are you getting me?
I can hear you.
Hello? Yes. So we are now in this unit of red recluse, and here we are now trying to manage our waste, be it kitchen waste, market waste, any kind of waste. So this is what we are having here. So you can see now we are having a kind of
I think the earphones are spoiling the sound. Kindly check the sound again. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes, now that is better.
Okay. So you can see what is happening here now. We are now on this kind of waste management.
The noise is back again. I don't know. Can you hear me now? Samson?
Are you getting? Yes, I'm
Yes,
getting you.
I can hear you.
Okay, let me just start. So what is happening here is that you can see we have this unit of decomposition, and I had said earlier is that for life to begin, another life has to end. So we are composting this now, and then we'll have this kind of casting where we will have this organic foliar manure, which now this one will be very good as far as this kind of potting compost is concerned. This is now excellent when you add the pumice and the cocoa peat. It will be very good when you do this kind of potting composting. And again, sorry, when we'll be here now, we'll be now in this zone whereby we'll be having two byproducts in the inventory. You can see what we have here are very fine. Still getting me?
Yes, yes. We can hear you.
So they are very fine. These one now are very good organic for planting. So the proteins here of our food supplement for poultry, for our fish, maybe by next month, end of next month, we'll be having our aquaponic unit. We'll be having also for our pigs in the near future. So this is what we call the waste management issue. And now we'll be cutting costs as far as income, the input is concerned. So we are very much interested in training our farmers so that they know what to do at the very affordable kind of what they get. So from here, I'll be taking you maybe you want to treat very well. We still have our pollinators. So you can see from distance, those are
Those are bees. Samson, can you hear me? Can you check your sound again? Yeah, the noise has stopped. Can you hear me? Samson, can you hear me? Samson? Can you hear me? Right, that's the S&J garden that is located in Kesses. We are having some challenge with the sound, still trying to fix the sound as Samson takes us around the farm. It's very interesting how he's formulating his own organic manure from the redworms, and how he's also ensuring there's no food wastage, because I think that is something new I've seen for the first time, where the farmer is making use of everything from his farms. Samson, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm getting you. Do you hear me?
Yes, yes. I like that part. I wish I was there.
We'll organize a day so that we do it. So where we are entering now is now the food forest. We are bringing now our entire forest to now a food forest. So from what you can see, we have all kind of fruits, and here we believe in 7 layers of food forest. We have the canopy ones, and then we have the shrub, the dwarf ones, and then we have the shrub, the herbs. I'll be taking you. Like now, what we believe in is that you can see our apple being the highest. We believe that now this one is the canopy layer, and we can see that we are almost getting some fruits from them. So you can see that the fruit Those one are the other. We have now the top layer of it, which our oranges. So from there we can move herbs. When we come close, you can see now this is a mint, paparita mint. So this one is medicinal herb, especially when it comes to this kind of comfort, stomach discomfort, the sneezing, you just curl them and smell them. They are very excellent. And when we come to shrub layer, you can see we have this gooseberry. You can see how they are just a bit. When we come to ground covers, taking ground covers, you can see again what ground covers have the purpose. This is our ground cover. And again, when it comes to climbing, you can see the height close 10 meters. That is our scarlet bean, academia, which has lasted for 2 years and can serve good as far as climate is concerned. So, from here now, I'm taking you that what we can see, and you can see from that's right. So here is that we serve the purpose of our 5 common. The purpose of our food forest is our food. From the backgrounds, if you can hear clearly, Jackie, there are some birds. Can you hear them? From here again, there is kind of so you can see what we are doing again is that we have a crop everywhere. We don't want a bare soil. You can see we have this nito. Yes, we have also this cowpea. Yeah.
That's
so
cowpeas.
We have another one. And, yes, we have now the rhizosphere, which now we have this one in our food forest. So you can see we have lost our 7 food forest layers. So how the movement is changed, because forest does not have any road. It is just a meandering. So you can see from where we are moving, we just go around learning what we are supposed to learn. Like this one now, we have the cover crop within our apple. You can see now another. This one now is another shrub, which almost 2 weeks will be harvesting. You can see now we have a precharia grass. So which now it means that we'll be eating our daily food by use of it. When we are here now, we have now this kind of fruit culting. A fruit culting is bringing and harmonizing all kind of crop so that it serves the purpose of a certain fruit. So like now what we have here, we have this kind of Sespania within here. Sespania serves as nitrogen fixing the fruit. You can see also the leaves and cut and drop so that it serves the purpose of mulching. We have also this one now, the retina, the custard, which now will help if this mold comes in, you will find that it will not hinder the root, because this one is a poisonous. What we have here again is this gooseberry. So gooseberry serves the purpose. We have this bird, which is fruit eater. When he comes here to eat the fruit, definitely find an insect. And now this is the question of control, pest control management, by pest control. On the same note now, he'll be doing this kind of pollination. I'll show you another thing here that very much interesting. We have this kind of tree. So this is our wildlife unit. When a bird comes, it just stand up there, do the few points before patching and taking what it wants to eat. So this is the kind of the environment. And now we have this wildlife forest with this food eating. And when the birds come here, you will find that you love and eat this Like this one now, you can see now, this one now is the wild banana. That's a cosa. It was just dropped by a bird. Where could I ever get it? By selling it, you can buy it at 200 shillings maybe. And now you can see I have it for free, by a bird. So these are the kind of things that are happening as far as wildlife is concerned. We also have the camellias within here. Camellias have excellent purpose like pest control, threatening the kids, not coming and taking away the oranges, anything, disturbing everything. We have whenever the kids are here, told them that these are just thinking and do that, they'll just keep up from the garden. So from here, I'll be taking you initiative. So we have the pollinator arrangement for our bees. So you see that we have this, you can see now bee again, come over here. So you see it. So this is our pollinator arrangement. Again, this purpose, you can see we have this one, the lantana, which serves as external parasite control in our poultry and maybe livestock. We just crush the leaves and they are dry and left dry for blind. This was initially a wildlife pond, but we have converted it recently to serve the purpose of our azola. So azola, we are still establishing a unit so that it remains our wildlife pond for our birds, our amphibians to drink water and bees so that they can continue without more disturbance. So you can see again, what happens here is that you can see there is an habitat of some insects. So you don't need to cut a tree, you just leave it. So that at the end of the day, you have created an habitat. You can see, I've told you that point for the bird, so can serve as good climate for every organism. And again, when we believe after following this, when it begins, we definitely have the matter. As I talked about earlier, the death and decay. So I'll be taking around this unit again, where we are establishing another, this is a dagger unit. And you can see, because we are not set, we have just established another adola, but now this one will be a swimming pool for our duck. So they believe here will be like the forest that we talk about. It has those kind of birds and whatever. So what we do here in Azola, we just fertilize our bone. This is what is happening. You can see we have this duck with our manure. So it is just fertilizing. So maybe in the next 12, 13 days, all this pond will be filled with our azola. And now we are good. From here now you can see that we have this now, our feed.
Samson, the noise has come again. Check. Can you hear me? Samson? Those are some pictures from Samson's S&J garden. Quite a lot. Look at the fruits. Wow. And everything is organic. Samson, can you hear me?
I'm hearing you. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Now we have this kind of a bead, which is called you can see from the brown, and this one now is another with a rhizome. Sorry. So you can see it has a rhizome. You can see there is the root, the formation of the root. So you can see what's happening here. This is up. So whenever there's a drought, they can just tie by the head and then you can cut somewhere here. And then again, it will just fill up. So these are the Sudan grass for our dairy goat feeding. So you get that again. You always cut this. And you're still moving. On the same note, this one now is what we are calling it our rhizome. Our climber now, the Batella alba, and the Rema. So this is now our food forest. So we are also doing this sorghum for $12 and ensure that we will not be planting and replanting it. So you can see what we harvested the other time. And now you can see.
The sound again. Can you hear me? Samson? Samson, can you hear me? Sound. Okay. Quite some interesting pictures we are seeing there from Samson's garden. A lot of crops have been grown here. Samson, can you hear me? Samson? Okay, as we wait for Samson to fix the connection, let us know what your thoughts are on permaculture farming. Is it sustainable? From the pictures we've been shown around Samson's farm, is that permaculture can be achieved. It's a form way of sustainable farming. We'll be taking a short break, try to link up with Samson, and we'll be back shortly after this. Keep watching our Farmers Media.
Beetroot is a highly nutritious root vegetable. The beetroot is the top proportion of a beet plant. It is one of the many varieties of the genus Beta vulgaris, all of which are mostly grown for their edible taproots and leaves. Beetroot is a root crop that takes approximately 3 to 4 months to mature. Beetroot is a fairly easy crop to grow as long as the soil is well cultivated prior to planting. Beetroots do not enjoy wet, boggy or shady soils. Beetroot can be sown in trays and transplanted when the seedlings have 2 true leaves. Plant in full sun, space seedlings 10 to 15 centimeters apart, and rows 20 centimeters to 30 centimeters apart so they have room to grow. Beetroots are also ideal for containers or raised beds. Beetroots will happily thrive in small areas as long as there's at least 20 centimeters depth of soil. Beetroot has been used not only for food but also for treatment for numerous conditions.
This is a farmers
Media.
A Farmers Media.
We tell you the stories of African farmers.
We're still trying to connect with Samson. I don't know if he's back, But what we know about permaculture farming is a system of ecological farming because it has minimal tillage. They later changed it to permanent and culture to include the use of permanent is the use of soil, and the culture is the various organic matters that are being used. You've seen he's getting his organic, he's doing organic farming, getting his organic manure from the poultry, the livestock that he has, the goats that he's shown us. And he's also doing redworm farming and black soldier fly farming. Yes, so to put it simply, permaculture works with nature instead of against it. In the wild, ecosystems regenerate on their own and are self-maintaining. Permaculture practitioners observe these natural processes and recreate them on their farms and their backyards. It's a system where you just select you apportion various units within your farm, and you allow the crops to it's kind of like they depend on each other. There are crops that are pest controllers. There are crops that act as boundaries for others, like windbreakers for others. There are other crops that help in pollination. Yes, so permaculture draws from concepts of agroforestry, like Samson has shown us the various trees he's planted on the farm. Like when he was going through the farm, I was actually asking myself, why is it that most farmers do not keep forests in their farms? Like, this is the first farm I've seen where the farmer is very keen on even the kind of trees he has grown. Like you see that there's one tree that has been infested by ants, and he was like, he cannot cut down that tree, he'll wait for it to just fall off on its own, and he'll create mulch out of it. Permaculture also is practiced organically and sustainable development. It's a way of building regenerative systems with the knowledge including rainwater harvesting and distribution. There's the mulching and composting. There's rotational grazing, but from Samson's farm, he has chosen to feed the goats. He said he does not graze his goats, and then building with the natural materials. Now, for a farmer to succeed in permaculture farming, they need to practice also the ecological principles. That is, healthy forestry ecosystems have layers of plant life. They cannot consist of tall trees that provide shade, just like you saw from the farm. Samson has various shrubs, and he also showed us a plant that he said is a cover kind of forestry that just lies on the ground. Below that is the understory trees that do well in light shade, like Samson has confirmed. The shrub layer is made up of woody perennials, and the lowest layers are herbaceous and die back every winter. Then it's the soil and its ground covers, and finally the rhizophyia or root layer. There is also a vertical layer of vines and climbing plants. You've seen all these ecological principles being practiced on Samson's farm. I don't know if Samson has joined. Probably we can get him for some closing remarks. We'll try and get him on phone. Permaculture zones are determined from its proximity to the house. This is based on how often they are worked. Vegetable and herbs gardens are closest to the house because they are tended daily, while the farthest zone is wild and untouched. That simply means while you're portioning your various units on your farm, you need to look at the various amount of time that you spend on each unit. If you want to grow vegetables and you need to tend to them on a daily basis, you portion the vegetables next to your home. Yes, and if you like the flowers we saw on Samson's farm, They have been placed just at the entrance of the house. That way it makes the house, it's a kind of beautification. And also flowers need water, so probably they were placed at the entrance because they need to be watered on a daily basis. Thus, it makes it easier as compared to putting a forest in front of your house while putting the vegetables at the far end. It will be way difficult to water your plants. Give us your thoughts on what you think about permaculture farming in Kenya. Is it a form of practice that farmers need to venture into? Yes, I hope you've learned a thing or two from today's show. We will try to connect again with Samson in our subsequent shows to continue this discussion. We really wanted to have one-on-one interview with him to let us know exactly why is permaculture beneficial to matters food security and how we can preserve the natural ecosystem through permaculture. We also wanted to find out how permaculture can be linked to forms of climate smart farming, and also get him to answer some of the barriers to the adaptation of restorative, more ecological farming practices in agriculture. We will try and get him in our next show, so keep watching our Farmers Media. I've been your host, Jackie Mo. Let's do this again, same place and time. Tomorrow is another day. Tell us how you also spending Christmas. Where are you intending to visit? Who are you intending to visit? And yes, let's keep the conversation going on all our social media platforms. I've been your host, Jackie Mo. Time for me to go and grab some kuku and mbuzi for Christmas. I'll be seeing you in the new year. This is the Evening Farm Drive. Goodbye for now.